Good evening, my wonderful people. How are you all doing? I trust you're doing fine. Your week has been awesome. Welcome, welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. As you can hear, my voice is still gone. I mean, I'm struggling with it. Um, but to God be the glory, I'm feeling fine. It's just my voice that is still a bit under the weather from all the cold. But I trust you can still hear, you can understand, and that this message, finds you well. So wherever you are watching from, welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. This is where we learn, relearn, unlearn. Whatever we thought we know, we build it up. Whatever we thought we knew, but kind of like have the opportunity to adjust our knowledge. We then unlearn to, you know, learn new things. That's what we do here. Not that we are discovering new things, but at least trying to, improve each time. So you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning. Help us to do what we do best. Help us to spread the word. Help us to call it the Calvary. Help us to share so that this message meets as many people as possible. Once again, welcome. All right, for some weeks now, 2 weeks now, we've been dealing with strategic thinking. Now, strategic thinking is, huge. It encompasses a whole lot. And I've already stated that when most of the time when we hear strategic thinking, we always, link it to the business world. We hardly link it to ourselves. And I hope with these past two editions that we will realize that we have the number one project. You know, we are work in progress. We are the number one project. You have to see yourself as a business. For you to excel out there, for you to be like a CEO, you need to think like a CEO and start seeing yourself as the CEO of your life. You are the chief executive officer of your life. If you don't understand that, then it becomes a problem because how are you going to make yourself valuable if you don't see yourself as that treasure that you are? That is what strategic thinking, or at least how I want us to start seeing and applying strategic thinking into our lives so that we can, be very successful out there. Successful people don't just become successful by what they do out there, but what they do on themselves, the work that they do on themselves makes them successful. And that's what I want us to start tuning in, turning, changing that mindset too, so that we start thinking like that, taking those bold steps to be able to make us that successful. So last week, we dealt with some fundamental concepts or components when it comes to strategic thinking, and I started with um, you know being empathetic to yourself. you know we tend to learn empathy or show empathy to others, but we hardly show ourselves empathy. We hardly forgive ourselves for past mistakes, regrets. We continue to dwell in it, and those things hold us down. They hold us back. They keep us at one spot, and it's such a shame, honestly, to allow opportunities to pass you by. Why? Because you are stuck. You are stuck in the past. You are stuck with some way of thinking due to this very fact of not having empathy, not showing yourself grace. What empathy to me means is, giving yourself that grace, the grace that you need, not the grace that we deserve, because grace is not shown to us because we deserve them. No. So the grace that you will extend to others, show yourself that grace. It is not also over looking everything and saying, well, there is no issue. I made a mistake, but who cares? No, no, no. That's not it. It's also not overwhelming yourself with self pity. No, showing yourself that grace that will help you to move what forward. Showing yourself that grace by recognizing, yes, something happened. I feel the pain. I am in it. Allow the pain, feel it. Don't numb it. That's what we tend to do. We tend to either numb it or ignore it. Don't numb it. Don't ignore it either. And don't overdwell in it. That's what empathy here means. Show yourself that be empathetic to yourself so that you can be able to what from that point, from that angle, and from that place, grow as a person, as an individual. Another component of strategic thinking that sometimes we overlook it, I said last week, was um, being a problem solver, being a problem solver, bringing solutions. You know, um, if you have nothing to offer, that means you are not solving any problem. So being a problem solver is having something to offer. You know, you don't, problems are there to be solved. That's one thing we need to get. That's one thing we need to understand. Yes, there are problems, but problems are there to be solved. And I strongly believe there is a solution to any problem. But the issue is finding the right solution. Not just any and any solution, but the right solution. Yes, when you have a leakage, you can try to um, cover it up with Dutch tape. You can try to, cover it up one way or the other, but it's not the right solution as long as the leakage still is there. So finding the right solution is what will stop this leakage altogether. That is the right solution. So when you are bringing a solution to a problem, that is from that angle that you need to what? Think. You need to become that solution driven person, that you seek to bring the right solution, not the perfect, because there is no such thing as perfect solution, but the right solution for that problem at that time. It could be that the whole thing needs to be changed, but maybe at that time, that is not what you are capable of doing. Then you do what is right, what can be done at that moment. You would look for the right solution to bring. So be a person of, a problem solver, someone that brings solutions. Like this, you become really valuable in your environment, even to yourself. When you encounter certain challenges, instead of running away from them, try and see, what can I myself, what can I do? You know, we there are situations that we cannot control. There are those things, those fear, those things are out of our control. We can't control them. We can't control what others think. We can't control the decisions of, others. We can't control the weather. We can't control a whole lot of things. But on the other hand, we can control how we respond to the reactions of others. We can control how we respond to the comments of others. We can control how we respond to the weather, for example. You cannot control the weather, but you can control how you respond to the weather. So challenges are there, they are always going to be there, but you have the choice to make in how you respond to them. That is a very important aspect when it comes to strategic thinking. There are obstacles. There are things that are going to be, in the way. Other people, the economy, the country. There are every time things that are always going to be there. The road is not going to be perfect. There are going to be hubs, turns, but how you deal with them, that's a choice that you have to make. That is the solution that you need to bring. How you deal with them is very important. And what I want to deal with or discuss about also in this segment is, for you to be able to know the right solution to bring, for you to be able to know um, how to deal with it, first of all, you need to know what you're dealing with. So seek knowledge. That is our next component when it comes to strategic thinking. Be a person that seek knowledge. A lot of us don't like to seek knowledge. We don't like to read. We don't like to know things. Or sometimes we think we know and that's it. We limit ourselves to that knowledge that we think we know. And I call it limitation because you cannot grow above what you know. You cannot grow above what you know. Growth, when how does growth happen? Growth happens when you extend your knowledge or your, even let's talk about the physical growth. When the child is growing, they grow from stages, from stage to stage, from toddler, and then they move to grow, from stage to stage. The same thing also in height. They start from somewhere as a baby, they become, they're growing each time. Each time that we are measuring them, like, oh, you have grown. You are now 1 meter this, 1 meter that. So you keep growing physically. It's the same way we need to keep growing mentally, keep growing emotionally, keep growing spiritually, keep growing otherwise. If you don't grow, if you don't put in the effort to grow, what will happen? You remain at a certain level, and unfortunately, whatever does not grow dies. Honestly, whatever. Let, let me rephrase. Um, let me rephrase so that you don't misunderstand me. You know, we have growing age wise, we have growing in length. Now, biologically, there is a limit we reach, we don't grow anymore. That's biologically. But in as much as we are living beings, we need to grow beyond only the biological age or biological physics, the appearance. You need to grow spiritually, you need to grow mentally, intellectual wise. You need to grow. That is what I mean. If you are not growing in that sense, you something really dies in you. There is something that keeps you stagnant. It keeps you at one level, which is not healthy. So you need to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge, improve in the knowledge. And the best way to grow as an individual, as a person, this is so important when it comes to self-development. The best way to grow is, again, reading, seeking the knowledge that you need to add to this, what you already know, to improve on your skills, to be that skilled person or that knowledgeable person that will bring the right solution when it's needed. If you don't do that, then unfortunately you are missing out or going to miss out on great opportunities. Remember our SWOT analysis where we started with? If you don't grow, you miss out on all this. You miss out on all these great opportunities. And someone else who will do the work, who will put in the work to seek the knowledge, will come and bypass you. That is the power of knowledge. See, they say knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is power. But I keep saying, and I'll continue to say it, it is not necessarily the knowledge itself that makes you powerful, but it is in the understanding of the knowledge and how to use that knowledge. That's the next one. So you seek knowledge and you seek to understand the knowledge so that you'll be able to apply it wisely. That is what makes you powerful. That is what makes you what? Bring solutions. Because if you know something, but you lack insight, you lack understanding in that which you know, isn't that wasted knowledge? That's the whole point. It is wasted knowledge, it is wasted opportunity. So don't just seek knowledge for seeking sake. Please seek to understand the knowledge. Seek deeper. Go deeper. That I know this, I know that, I know that. Those are fun to maybe, when you're socializing to bring it up that but go deeper into not everything, but